Most of us spend the start of the year with big ideas in our mind, but then the reality of life hits us. You work all month, you go out often, and your paychecks just seem to disappear, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. I remember a friend reaching out one night asking if I wanted to join their financial date night in the coming days. I said yes, of course. I mean, as cringy as it sounded, I needed to better manage my finances, and I was told to buy a copy of Scott Pape's The Barefoot Investor. So we sat down, I'd read through the book. One of my friends had gotten halfway, and the other friend hadn't even gone through it. But luckily for us, there's like a little date night, first date night, and a few steps you had to go through. These steps involved looking at your bank account and splitting them into four separate buckets. One bucket was for your daily expenses, the boring stuff rent, groceries, phone bills. The second bucket is for your happy money, sort of daily spendings. That coffee in the morning you don't really need, that's your happy money. Bucket 3 is your fire extinguisher. This is a bit of a safety net and your savings that you build up. And then bucket number 4 is your splurge money. This is your short term savings, for example, if you want to go traveling. Using these buckets and this strategy, I feel like I've been able to manage my finances because in your daily expenses and your daily fun money, you use two separate cards and it's super easy to track where your money is going. Can't believe I just did like physical hand gestures, even though you guys can't really see me. And then there is a fifth sort of secret bucket that you hide away, but you only touch monthly to add money in. This is your mojo, and we want to get our mojo back. This is totally emergency fund. Put however much you want at the start of these, your savings, your buckets, when you start this, create it in a separate account, and then just add whatever is necessary to tip over that additional bonus interest rates in a high savings account. So, why am I preaching this method? I just think it works. Although I have swapped it up a little bit, that long term savings, or sorry, short term savings for travel, I've put it as an incentive saver in my sort of savings account. I don't know if that really makes sense, but some bank accounts let you set goals. That's just so all the interest is culminated in that one account, and I'm not really losing much. But I think essentially this idea of two separate cards, I like that. It's easier to track, and you need to do like a little physical indicator on what separates it. One of my cards has literally like a piece of masking tape, and that is my survival. Get down, get dirty, everyday needs. The other fun part of this method is this financial date night. For the first couple steps, the book asks you to do weekly dates with a friend, with a significant other, or take yourself out. I feel like taking yourself out is underrated, especially with like a journal. Even sitting down with like a coffee or something, it's so nice and relaxing. For myself, I've been going with two other friends for the past year or so, talking about our finances monthly at the same bar. I love this little routine. It's something to look forward to, and we dress up for it, right? We've got our little suits on, maybe not that far, but we do look nice for it. And I think putting in a bit of effort to actually openly discuss finances with someone is a fantastic way to get comfortable with the language of money. Another part of this is also talking about debt and crushing debt. You need to get rid of immediate debt. I think Scott Pape hates credit cards. I don't use a credit card myself. I mean, there are some positives to it if you pay off the debt consistently and on time. Otherwise, the interest just builds up and it's not worth it. So, what's even the point of all these savings and these buckets and, why do it? I'm not going to tell you to do it. It's just what I do. I am preaching it as a suggestion of how people can enjoy life a little bit better and make financial management a little bit more accessible. And I think in terms of myself and the development of my finances and where to go, the next step for me would be stocks. And so the point is that I can manage my own safety net, my needs, my daily finances, and then put a little bit of excess into the public market. If you don't know what stocks are, from my understanding, I was talking to someone else the other day about stocks and giving this valid explanation, and I'm like, wow, I actually know a little bit. Essentially, the idea is there are publicly listed accounts, or companies, I should say. You buy into them. Upon annual return, if they went up in value, your stock you purchased into goes up in value and you receive dividends, which is a cut of the profits. Now, my understanding is that I want to reinvest these dividends. It's really easy to invest in stocks nowadays. You can open up in your own bank account, I think, or at least in Australia, there are sort of ways to do that. There are also platforms in Australia. I know of Stake, Pearl, I think it's called Moo or something. I don't know. There's all these, it's never been as readily available to a daily spender to buy into stocks. Another part of this is also this daily savings. I don't like big material purchases. I don't buy many big material purchases. I feel quite satisfied in my life, in what I have, in the people I'm surrounded by. And there's this big sort of myth of buying coffee out every day, right? So let's say you cut $5 every day. How much is that in 12 months? Probably 1.6 grand or something. And essentially, if it makes you happy, take that out of your fun money every day, right? Or whenever you buy a coffee or a nice lunch. Personally, I like to do that every once in a while, and it's nice to have that freedom to be able to spend that fun money on what I find fun. Another big worry is lifestyle creep. The biggest trap when you start to earn more and more is spending more and more. But the idea is when you have those buckets, you have calculated the precise amount of spendings you need in that week. If my rent is $500 and I get paid $1,500, I know a third of my survival needs, or a third of my weekly pay, fortnightly pay, needs to go to rent. You have those calculations, so when you grow your salary, you can, adjust normally without expending more. The final point that I want to ramble about, which might sound a little cringe, is in terms of money and time. When you are young, the best asset you have is time. I think I need to understand this more because I'm so big on, oh, I want to save, I don't really want to spend, I don't really want to go traveling. But, I compare myself to, say, a billionaire who is 60 years old. What do I have up on them? I have time, and money can't buy time. It's so cringe to say, but I think I need to instill it in myself, and openly admitting that to the internet, to this public video journal that I have attached myself to, it's going to ground me in understanding this. And, you can grow your net worth, but you can't get back your time. I'm just repeating the same thing. But I think that's essentially all I really have to say today about finances and how I'm at. Whoa, what am I saying? How I'm at. Let's try that one more time. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that's all I have to say about finances. I think it's I think it's a little fun when you gamify it. For me, the next steps would be to create a psychotic Excel sheet tracking my expenses because money leaks out in places you don't understand. Even though I have these two separate accounts to track my daily and needs, I probably overspend on random things that I have no clue about. So, yeah, that's my next steps. For you guys, I've got a question. Are you a saver or a spender by nature? And what are your sort of long term goals in terms of, do you want to be a billionaire or something? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what this tangent is, but thank you for the people who have joined me along the way. I've got a couple of subscribers already, from nothing, and I appreciate that. So I want to build this community. I want to reiterate, I'm going to try my best to upload Wednesday and Saturdays every week, Australian time. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for tuning in.